A couple brings their son, Christian Wolf, to an institution for autistic children, hoping to gain insight. They explain that due to the husband's military duty, they often have to move, and the institution's director offers to let Christian stay. However, the husband refuses, explaining that Christian shouldn't be shielded from things that upset him. He must be forced to face them, because that's how the world works. In the waiting room, Christian hums children's songs while working on a puzzle. He gets to the last piece but can't find it and starts to melt down. A little girl finds the missing piece and gives it to him, calming him down. Now Christian works as an accountant. He sits in his office with a couple facing financial troubles, guiding them on how to file taxes to save as much money as possible. They are very grateful, and the husband offers to let Christian join him for shooting practice on their property whenever he wants. The U.S. Treasury Department's director, a man named Ray King, calls an analyst, Mary Beth Medina, into his office for a talk. He praises her achievements and asks why she hasn't moved on to something higher. She says she enjoys being an analyst, but Ray suspects she's lying. He reveals her juvenile arrest record, stating that lying on job applications is illegal, and such a record should have prevented her from getting her position. He tells her she must work on a special project for him if she wants to keep her job. He shows her photos of a man known as the accountant and all the criminals he works with. He helps them track their illegal money and is also known to have committed suicide. Ray informs Medina that he wants her to identify this man and solve his case by the end of the month. Otherwise, she will lose her job. Christian returns home and makes dinner for himself. Before sleeping, he turns on strobe lights and heavy metal music, rubbing his shin with a wooden stick. He has flashbacks of his mother leaving their family when he was a child during Christmas. Christian takes his medication and goes to sleep. Later, he goes to the couple's property for shooting practice, and the man is impressed by Christian's sharpshooting. Christian drives to a storage where he keeps his trailer. Inside, there are valuable collections, paintings, and various currencies. He also has a large arsenal of weapons. He lies in his bed, remembering flashbacks of being in prison. His cellmate taught him various social skills and set him up for a job handling money for dangerous criminals. Christian wakes up to his phone ringing and answers. A British woman, clearly working for him, suggests he pick up some clients because people are starting to suspect him. He reluctantly agrees to take on regular clients. He attends a meeting with his new clients who run a prosthetic robotics company. One of their internal accountants has discovered someone in the company is taking money and profits, and they want to hire Christian to find out what's happening. Christian Wolf agrees to take on the job and states he will start working the following morning. Mary Beth Medina examines the photos she has and enlarges one that shows part of the accountant's face. She cuts out the photo and sends it to the facial mapping department for analysis. Brax, a dangerous man hired to hold businessmen accountable for money laundering, enters a man's car in a Swiss parking garage before the man can leave. Brax points a gun at his head, forcing him to promise to stop smuggling another company's money that Brax is supposed to collect. Eventually, the man agrees, and that is his cue to leave. Christian goes to the conference room where he is allowed by the company and finds a woman asleep at the conference table. He awkwardly wakes her up, and she apologizes. She introduces herself as Dana Cummings, the woman who first noticed the missing money. She gives a general update on the situation and assumes they will work together. However, Christian clarifies that he prefers to work alone, and Christian begins to work. During a press conference, Medina receives a phone call from Homeland Security about the facial recognition request. They have identified an audio clip from one of his attacks on a man pleading for his life right before the accountant kills him. They send the audio file to Medina. At lunch, Dana sits next to Christian trying to start a conversation. Christian tries to socialize as best as he can, but it's clear he's not good at it. Dana talks about her father and how he was the reason she got into accounting. Christian returns to the conference room and works on so many calculations on the provided whiteboard that he has to continue through the windows around him. He covers the entire room with his work until he makes a breakthrough. Medina listens to the audio file repeatedly at home and uses her technology to isolate the accountant's vocals. She can hear him singing a children's song to himself. Christian enthusiastically shows his work to Dana in the conference room and tells Dana that he has identified the money leak. Someone is funneling money to a non-existent company. One of the company's shareholders interrupts them and asks Christian for the results. However, Christian says he doesn't have a final answer yet, and that he needs more time before he can definitively say who took the money. Brax visits one of the robotics company's shareholders at his home, and at midnight, he orders him to take insulin from the fridge and bring it to his table, and he could inject himself with it. The insulin could make his death look like suicide, so his wife could cash in his life insurance policy, or he could try to fight and Brax would kill him and his wife. The man decides to inject himself. The next day in the conference room, guards are erasing his work from the windows. He asks them to stop, and the company's owner comes to explain that his friend, the shareholder, committed suicide last night because he felt guilty for stealing money from the company, and he wants Christian to stop handling the case. Christian is upset because he hasn't finished anything he started. Christian goes home and has an intense session hitting his shin with a wooden stick while listening to heavy metal music and turning on strobe lights. He has flashbacks again when his mother left the family, and he breaks the stick on his shin and throws his medication bottles. He calms himself down, takes his medication, and goes to sleep. The next morning, as Christian Wolf leaves his home, a car follows him. He heads to his client's property for more shooting practice. He has flashbacks of fighting with his brother Brax and a trainer hired by their father. The trainer beats them, leaving them bruised and battered. The trainer wants to end the day, but their father insists they haven't had enough. He makes the boys get up and continue fighting. Inside the house, both clients are held hostage by thugs. They ask the wife to come out to call Christian so they can meet him. As a thug escorts her to the front door, Christian shoots him from the yard. Another thug forces the couple into a truck and drives them off the property. Christian shoots the truck, causing it to stop, and ambushes the thug from cover. Christian strangles the man with a belt and demands to know who he works for. The man says he doesn't know who's in charge, only that he was ordered to kill Christian and Dana Cummings. Christian kills the man and leaves the property heading to Dana's place. A man follows Dana to her apartment complex, and Christian arrives just in time to see him enter the elevator with her. Christian sneaks to the back of the building, climbs the stairs and reaches her apartment. 2 officers escort her, claiming she has a package. They break into her apartment and try to subdue her, but she fights back and hides in the bathroom. Christian breaks into the apartment and kills both men, then asks Dana to come with him. Brax receives a call that his men have been killed by the accountant. Christian takes Dana to his trailer and tells her to wait outside while he gets ready. She enters anyway and sees all his money and weapons. She questions him about it, but Christian can't give her a straight answer. Medina receives a call from the language service about the audio file she sent them. They tell her the man she's looking for might be a victim of childhood abuse, or may have some neurological disorder that causes him to hum children's songs when stressed. Medina goes to the IRS office and collaborates with an employee to try to connect the accountant's alias with high-income individuals. Christian takes Dana to a luxury hotel to hide, and she questions him about his fighting skills. He shares that his father was a soldier who trained him to fight against bullies. He also tells her he has autism, making it very difficult for him to socialize even though he truly wants to. Dana shares a story about a dress she wore to a high school invitation, so she learned card counting to afford it. She only wore it once, but it was important for her to fit in with the other kids. They share an emotional moment, and Dana leans in to kiss him, but Christian pulls away and reveals the robotics case. He tells her that someone is funneling money from the company only to put it back in and reap higher profits. Sometime later, Christian Wolf follows Brax on the road, and Brax realizes it and shoots at him. Christian continues to follow him and ends up in a hotel room owned by a shareholder and sees that she has been shot dead. Mary Beth Medina works with an employee at the IRS office and is able to find out the accountant's real name and that he works as an accountant at a small company in a building connected to a number of existing cash businesses, and he runs his money to hide his actual income. Medina calls Ray King with this information, and she tells King that most of the money Christian made was donated to scientific organizations. When Christian returns to the hotel, he finds Dana Cummings asleep on the sofa. He remembers a flashback when his father forced him and Brax to beat up a group of kids who bothered him at school. Christian decides it's too dangerous to continue involving Dana, and leaves. King and Medina lead an investigative team to Christian's house, and they note all his odd living habits. They find that he has many unserialized weapons and high-tech security systems. Brax is hired by a drug company owner to install security cameras at his home in case Christian tries to follow him. King opens another investigation, and he and Medina stay at the house to talk. He asks Medina to tell him about the details of her arrest, and she tells him that she tried to kill a drug dealer who sold to her sister, and she does not regret her choice. King tells Medina how long he has been trying to track the accountant and the difficulties he has gone through to get this far. He tells her that he was at the hotel where Christian's audio was recorded, and he heard him kill the man. Afterward, Christian points a gun and asks if he is a good father. When King agrees, Christian lets him go. He takes Christian saving his life as a sign to stop, and he plans to leave his office forever. He receives a call from an English-accented woman giving tips about an upcoming illegal deal. He decides to have been in the police using the woman who called as an informant. King interviews Christian's cellmate, who is a federal informant after being in jail for helping criminals with their money. When they finally release him, the people he used to work with find him, torture him, and kill him. When a guard tells Christian about his cellmate's death, Christian is frightened and flees from prison. He then attends his mother's funeral with his father, but when they are asked to leave, Christian has a breakdown, and a security officer shoots at him. However, his father intercepts the bullet and dies. Medina asks why King is telling her all this, and he says that he wants Medina to be the one to answer the woman's call after he retires in 7 months. Christian's home phone rings and Medina answers it. The English woman is on the other end of the phone, and she gives Medina information about the robotics company. Meanwhile, Brax at the home of the company's owner. As Christian comes and goes from the property, Brax sends several of his men, and Christian kills all but one, whom he saves for interrogation about the layout of the house. Brax watches from the security room as he sends his men to Christian, trying to instruct them on how to take him down. Christian suffers several wounds but manages to kill all the men Brax sends his way and enters the house. As Brax watches the security footage, he recognizes Christian as his brother and orders his men to retreat. Brax meets Christian, and the company owner takes his place observing the cameras. Initially, Brax is angry at Christian for not being able to contact him for over 10 years, and is upset that Christian went to their mother's funeral. Brax blames Christian for their father's death, and Christian lets Brax hit him to release some of his anger. Christian takes control of the situation and points a gun at Brax until he calms down. The two brothers reconcile. The company owner enters the room, confused and upset that Brax did not keep Christian at bay. Christian shoots the company owner and leaves to talk to his brother. Before Christian leaves, he promises to meet with Brax again. Another group of parents visits a neuroscience center for advice about their child who suffers from autism. Their son enters a room and finds Justine, the director. She is the same little girl who helped Christian solve his puzzle when he was a child. The director explains that Justine is nonverbal but communicates using a high-tech laptop. As Justine demonstrates how she communicates, the voice emitted by the computer is the same English woman's voice that works with Christian. Dana returns to her apartment to clean up and receives a delivery. She opens it and finds a classic painting. However, upon further inspection, she sees that the outer canvas only hides what's inside. She tears off the outer layer and reveals a very valuable painting she recognizes from Christian's trailer, and the film ends. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, because by subscribing you have supported me to make better videos. See you in the next video.